bring this up. There we go. Okay, we're on the Indian of Pesach here, Drush Aleph, and we're going to pick up on number Tes Vav where we begin before, but we're going to go down into the Tiv Hakavanot. He breaks it up a little bit easier. So Gavarn is bar v'tzlaina b'drush shkivas alaylo, l'v'kriya shemash alameta, ki nitzutzas hakari, heim cheshuvas ma'od v'kedushos. So ela sheyotzan umisarvin b'klipos v'tzrichim birer acher birer l'sakna. We went through that yesterday. Hanitzutzas hayotzach v'chayedecha v'kari heim nitzutzas hatovim. They're good. Everything is beautiful about it, v'kedoshim, very holy ma'od. But they're abandoned. Because they came through Shvich Zerel Batala. Yatzel Muharavel Beklipa Vitzrichim his Dakek his Barer Asher Yusuk Duchakaroi until they can be properly rebuilt. So therefore what we're doing is rebuilding them little by little. Until you get to a point where you could really see the real purity of them. And that's what happened in the generation of Mitzrayim. So let me see if I can use this. There we go. So he says, a nishama shel elach ador shel hoya neshama sheyatz b'bagam agari. Hoya neshamas gevuras v'kedushos, gevohos, very high level in kadosh. V'hoya tzrichim his dakav and his bara ad sheyuchel ma'alasa v'kedushim until you could actually see yukar, you could actually recognize what they really are. So there we see after this process of Habir shall Galad Mitzrayim, Gavar Hukar Kedushan Zachabalasim, you've already been able to recognize their Kedusha and their high level. Look at Var Nikra B'Shem Yisrael, and the name Yisrael is on them already, which means the polished gold. Varaya Lezecha B'Masha Shagavar B'Mitzrayim, Kasach V'Daver El B'nei Yisrael. So now we're already coming out to be revealed. So now we understand the true meaning. Why that we have declared against them. That particular shiva, the Kamosa, which is, we never had a shiva like this. Because corresponding to that, the hashchis as azaram nigzach v'lechem. So now he says it's mida keneged mida. Kol haben hayalud hayoret ashlikuchu dugmas onishmabel atzma. B'zeh yisboyer lama nigzach b'chabnei Yisrael shivud kosher consensus. Therefore, we're trying to explain why did this happen. The call zikoch non onish shekibloch the shamos elu koya mida b'mida was one against another. Shivo tikun chatoy dor hamavel, because to make a tikun in that we had to suffer. Shuhu avrun zerach the batala. It's the sin of shvich zerach the batala. Gazach b'lechem the hashlik zaron b'mayim. So therefore their children had to be thrown into water. Because now you see this concept of rolling, that just like the earth is rolling, the orbit, the sun is rolling, everything's going around in a circle, so it's true of our souls. So you have a mass migration into this one place, into Mitzrayim. The Neshamos Elu, so therefore we were thrown into the water as a tikkun for that particular act of the abandonment of all those holy sparks to the other side. So they said because of the door, the tower of the Bavel, we had to build bricks. So the quote is from the Haggadah, and they embittered our lives. So that was avodah zarah, this is avodah kasha. ונענשך במידה כנגד במידה כשם שחרתך ואומרך ונלבדך לבינס. They come over there, they said, come on, let's go build some bricks and build a tower. כך נענשך ובעבודה קשך ובסוך ובחוי ובבינס. So we in Mitzrayim did this. ולכן נשמות אלו כשהסגלגלו דך בבזך בדך בהרגו חסום אלא השתעבדך ושם בחבוב וקשה, but rather we were indentured. כבר הרחת במקום אחר, בזכר בסוד Shabbos v'dinim b'mara ifko. That's a phrase, I don't know, v'ayin sham heitiv. Look over there, he says heitiv. B'makom acher ha'arich harav levayer inyan zeh shan neshamos shechoy b'mitzrayim choyel gilgul b'doros hakod mehem shechatu v'lechein chutzachol lehizbarach b'in lokim v'yisurim. So therefore they had to go through a refinement process. Is a Am Lechem Hiyosa Sheivach Be'eret Mitzvach B'Avshach Shehizbayer Tam Lama Chutzrachol Yisrael La'avach B'Zikuch B'Birach Zeh. So why they have to go through all of this? Sarv Tam Lama Davka B'Mitzrayim. So we had to go through that, and he tied it to the sins of generations, and now there's a mass migration again of those tipos of Kara now into the Jewish people, and to try to manifest and to clean up all the bad parts that had to be burnt out. Atam lama ashiva l'choyed davka bebitzrayim hu keben shebitzrayim hu behinas adas v'lechein davka sham. So therefore, only in that area, choyed sarach lihiyos tikun hu maskil levoyer as in the das. Now, I never heard before that Egypt is the concept of das, but das is the flowing of the moching, and so maybe that's analogous to the Nile River. I don't know. From these aspects is where the creation of the neshama takes place. Because there is really the secret of the zivug. So yada, lashon zivug. V'ish lo yudah, and no man knew her. Once again, it's the idea of the flowing of seed. V'lechei nikrach bedas lahoros, ki misham nimshachas tipas hazivug hanikrach b'lashon yudiyah k'nizkar. That this is the flow that we're talking about of the tipa of zera of life, of infinity, is contained in that sparks. So he says, "V'keven shaneshamos bos memuach hadas, v'kein kol inyan the zivug nikradas." So he says, so the Gavana over there is on zivug. So he says, V'chatam. So he tam who lefi sha'al yedecha bezivug mamshikin the shamas mamash memuach hadas, because the neshamas come out of das, he says, and that's where it is. It's the otzer of the neshama. So that's how it works. Magam osam and the neshama shal ledor haku shal Moshe Rabbeinu all of a shalom kavod is boyer etzleinu ki Moshe hu bebechinas das. Moshe is the aspect of das. V'chein kol chador haku he bebechinas das. Af shekol neshama v'neshama shorsha bebechinas das. Every neshama, every panemius. So neshama is another word for panemius, what actually is the internal spark of life itself. He says, which is, he says, Hadas shachar b'chadasham and neshachim b'moach hadas. Am the beprad Moshe, with the exception of Moshe, shuhu choy b'bechinas das, who also was the aspect of das. The meidach b'choy called dorach b'bechinas das, and because of that they were called the Dordeya. V'hem nigro Dordeya. So they're the generation of das, the das, because they were tied to Moshe Rabbeinu. Ella, this one we want to know the difference. Ella shehem yatzer ella klipos l'sivasi yosem tipos carry. They were abandoned seeds. That's what they represent. Again, the concept of a child being abandoned by his parents. He's alone, and has to make it on his own. He Yosem Tipos Keri B'meya B'shlosha V'shanim Kodem Shalol Ches in those 130 years when Adam Rishon spilled his seeds, and these are from those seeds. Hine Adam Rishon Keshakava B'Kal Shanim in the 130 years Sheyatzim B'Mendach B'Tipos L'Batola Hare Pagam B'Chinis Adas. Shachab called tipos shorshal medas because all the tipos, in other words, all seed that brings life, they have their root in das. But parat shachadas shal Moshe shorsha me'elach tipos, and specifically Moshe Rabbeinu, who came from tipos of das, shekal neshamas shal chador hazel choya men neshamas shal. They were neshamas of the 130 years of the separation from Chava, Hakal Shanim Shel Adam Rishon. Although Moshe he was actually the aspect of Shes, the third son of Adam Rishon. So that you see that it will see in him that he's good. People's role is not all like all the rest of the bad seed. Shall Adam Rishon b'mei b'shloshim shana. Ki acher kulam nolded Shes, because after all of that spilled seed that was wasted or abandoned, Shes b'demuso katzalmo, Shes was born in the image of Adam Rishon and his form. But they didn't have that demus of a man. Instead, they had the demus of shadim and ruchim v'plinim. And they will not see my evil. What does that mean? Moshe Rabbeinu Atzmo Hoyagam Kain Bibechinas Das Mamish Kashorish called Osachador, so everybody is this flowing das that we're talking about. But he's not part of that flow of das which was abandoned and wasted. Which was born after the period of the wasting and abandonment. So therefore it becomes the concept of the das which is rebuilt. And they will not see my evil. They came from his root, which is das, Ella, because they came to the chelek that was mefugam. Getting more deep into this is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kola.